everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Today's topic is know when to leave him and never look back. Know when to leave his A and never look back. Before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are available in my online store. And these caps, they all have different sayings. They're spiritual sayings, and they all have the goddess emblem right up top. And this goddess emblem is about women being strong, confident women. You are all goddess. And, I had been asked before about that symbol, and that's why it's there. It's for you to realize that you are a strong, independent woman. All right, let's dive into this first message and see what she says. Okay, this one is about marriage. I am a 46-year-old married woman for 25 years to a man that has narcissistic traits. Oh, 25 years is a long time to be married to a narcissist. Whoa. I am currently separated and contemplating divorce. I met this man 26 years ago when I had a child, and I subsequently had 2 more children with him. I didn't listen to my intuition as immediately he showed his red flags. I can understand that because, many times when we are excited about new love potential, we put on our rose-colored glasses and we only see roses. We don't see any red flags. Although the red flags out there just waving, we don't see it. All we see is the roses from those rose-colored glasses. So I can understand it. Don't kick yourself, ladies, when you don't notice the red flags right away. As you continue on your spiritual path, then they will be just obvious. Okay? I wrestled with him being a narcissist because he has emotions, but unable to show up emotionally for me. Let me say something about that. When I was with my narcissist, I thought he had emotions too. Of course, he never showed them to me. There was never any intimacy. That intimacy, where, they just cuddle up and let you know how much they care for you. I never got that. But I saw him shed tears. That's emotion. But he was a stone cold narcissist. A stone cold narcissist. Okay? And I don't know if the narcissist steals your emotions and then just shows them back to you or not. I really don't know how that works. But yeah, when I was with the narcissist, I did see him show emotions for something that happened in his own life. I don't think I ever saw him show emotions when it regarded other people. But if the emotions that he showed, it was something internal. Okay? I know that may be kind of difficult for you to understand. But yeah, I did see him get a little emotional. But it's something internal. For instance, we were watching a movie one time. And all of a sudden, he got sad and tearful. And I just looked at it. See, that's something that the movie triggered in him that made that emotion come up. But see, narcissists don't really have souls or anything. So whatever emotions that they have is, they're getting a supply from you to even display the emotions that they do. Okay? All right. We have tried couples counseling, and I have been in counseling for years. Well, you know what? People go to counseling, and I don't really want to say anything against the counselors. I really don't. They do a good job. But the only thing about counselors is the questions that they ask you are the same questions that you ask them. For instance, you go in and you have an issue or whatever, and they just throw it back to you. They want you to figure out your own issue. Well, then going to them years and years and years is a waste of time, because they don't really have any answer for you. So your counseling is more conversation. Whatever you tell them, well, then they'll come back and say, well, how do you feel about that? Well, what do you think about that? Well, hell, you can do that by yourself. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home and talk to the divine. You'll get more information, because Spirit will reveal it all to you. You won't have to, sit there, pay somebody to shoot your own questions back to you. You see, I know that those of you who are therapists and counselors, you free to comment on what I said here. But this is how I feel about, about counselors. Because there was a time during my second marriage that we decided to go to couples counseling. And for number one thing, remember, these counselors, they're just human like everybody else. And the learning that they have most times is just from the book. They haven't experienced anything. Everything they're going to tell you is what they read in a book. All right. Now, okay, me and my husband went to counseling. Now, we were a mixed couple. So the counselor zoomed in that our issue was that we were mixed, So, that was a waste of time. That wasn't our issue at all. We never had a problem with what color we were. It was something else. But I wasn't about to spend months and months and months for her to assume that she knew what the issue was. Okay? So that was my experience with counselors. I think it was a waste, because people go to counseling for years and years and years and still have the same issue. So where's the benefit? When all you need to do is to strengthen your connection with the divine source energy. And all of your questions will be answered through your intuition and your own soul. And it would be tailored for you. Okay. Okay, let's go on with the letter. The straw that broke the camel's back is my husband has become so degrading, telling me no one wants a 46-year-old with 3 kids. He also says your value as a woman decreases as you age. His family and friends try to humble me, asking me, where would you be without him? Even the women in his family tell me, you will never find a man like him. He's a good man. Well, all right. Let me see. It sounds like all these other women just settle for a man, whether they happy with him or not. You just have a man. Just settle. You got a man. Because now I'm telling you where these women are coming from. They feel like you got a man when there's a lot of women out here who don't have a man. So why throw your man away? He's a good man. I mean, if he's not good for you, then he's not good. Okay? If he's not good for you, then he's not good, no matter what anybody says. If you're not happy with him, you don't need to be with him. I wouldn't go by what other people tell me. Oh, you need to stay right there. And that's why a lot of women stay in bad, horrible marriages, listening to what other people got to say about it, or worrying about what people are going to think, what people are going to be talking about, and that kind of thing. When you make decisions for your life, don't worry about what other people say. Worry about you And if you're going to take your kids with you, worry about them. But you worry about you. Don't worry about anything else. You and your own happiness. That's what it's about. Now he tells you that nobody gonna want you with 3 kids. Okay, let's look at that. There are men today, who will take you with 3 kids. There are some men out there who would take you with 3 kids, but it may not be the man of your choice. You may need to settle. And you may not. You may be fortunate enough that you get the man of your dreams and he takes you and your kids and everything fine. Okay? But now I was kind of in the same situation here. I raised 3 boys as a divorced parent. Okay? Same thing. And during those years, see, I was hoping to find the right man that would come in and embrace me and those kids. I wasted years and years of my life doing that. That was a waste. I should have been using those precious years to love my children, to be with my children, to make sure that foundation was strong with my family, with those kids, and working on my own financial foundation, making sure that I can make the life for me and my kids, not looking for a man. You see, the reason I look for a man is because we're groomed to do that. We are groomed to feel like we can't make it unless we have a man. I was in the same boat. Single, divorced, with 3 kids. That's right. And I did hear, that men, I did hear this and I had to chuckle, that men will strap you down with a bunch of kids and leave you because they know that your life is, we'll say, effed up. Your life is effed up because they don't feel like any other man's going to take you. So you just going to sit there and raise those kids. And a lot of times it happens, but not all the time. I had an aunt that had 6 kids. And after her divorce, and some of them were kind of older and some of them were still very young, and a man took her up, married her, and helped her raise her kids. So there are men out there that would do that, ladies. But ladies, this is what I want to say about that. Although I raised my kids by myself, it was difficult, but I learned a lot about life, work, family, and all that. I learned a whole lot, okay? Which means that a man can't just come in here and tell me anything. And I know that I can make it without a man. I don't need a man to pay my bills or to take me nowhere, to drive me around because I can't drive. I don't have a car. I have everything that I need. This is what I learned being single and raising my kids. Okay? So if you find yourself in a situation like that, know that, all is not lost. Love yourself. Love your kids and build your own foundation. And don't worry about a man. Period. When I finally got a handle on that, then my life began to progress without a man being there. And yours will too. But it comes from inside of you, knowing who you are, loving yourself, and knowing that you have value. Because see, now this man is already telling you that you don't, that your value decreases with age. That's not necessarily so. I'm well over 40, 46, you say you're 40. I'm well over that. And I have very high value. And men still approach me. That's right. Men still try to get my attention. So don't go by when a man tells you this nonsense. He's just trying to bring you down. Bring you down a few pegs. He feels like you've gotten too big. You feel like you don't need him anymore. So he wants to bring you down. And these other women who are telling you, he's a good man. Why you want to do that? Because they've settled. And they don't, they want you to settle too. You settle who you think you are. That you don't need a man. You see that? Some women find that threatening. And then they become jealous of it because they weren't strong enough to do it. Be confident and love yourself no matter what. Don't listen to when these men tell you this nonsense or anybody else. All right. As an advanced nurse practitioner for 20 plus years, I make 300. What? No, you don't need none of these people. You make plenty money. 300,000 annually. And my husband makes maybe 40,000. Man, you need to kick him to the curb. Why would you? No. Your husband make maybe 40,000. And he talking crap. See, he trying to bring you down. That's why he telling you. He know that you can do much better than him. You a nurse practitioner, shit. You can go out and get you a doctor if you want one. You understand? He knows that. And that's why he's telling you these things just to bring you down. So he can feel big over you. You see? Men do that. Weak men, that's what they do. Now you say, I not only pay the bills with my money, but I physically pay all the bills in a timely fashion. Cook and clean. Well, you know what? Free will. Free will. He is a hoarder and definitely makes me feel like I am nothing without him. That's the point. He don't want you to leave him. You're the best thing he ever had in his life. He don't want to lose you. So he'll do everything that he believes can tear you down to stay with him. What he doesn't understand, if he treats you like a queen, you will want to stay. But see, men got it all flipped around. They're about power. They feel like the women have to submit for them to feel powerful. And women, we're not submitting. You making this kind of money, you don't need to submit to nobody. Nobody. You don't need to take anything from him. Now you say you're already separated. So, hey, you leave him. Now you got free will here, okay? You decide you want to divorce him because you've been with him, what, 25 years? So you've suffered him for 25 years. Now, you say here in the letter, let's read this part before I tell you what I think here. I want out. We just purchased 2 real estate investment properties. And my plan is to sell these properties and split the proceedings 50-50. I think he's getting off good. I think he would be getting off good with that 50-50. How do you know when enough is enough? You already know enough is enough. That's why you wrote the letter. You already know you've had it with him. Now, sit with yourself in a quiet place and just listen to your intuition, what it's saying to you. What is it truly saying to you? Now, don't listen to the loud voice that's telling you, oh, he ain't that bad. That's your ego. Don't listen to that voice. You got to be very quiet and very still. Listen to your intuition, and it will be a quiet whisper. When everything is quiet and still, And then it'll be a quiet whisper. Listen to that voice and see how you feel with that voice. You see? If it feels good and says, let it go, that's what you should do. Let it go. But when you let him go, never take him back. That's why you need to sit with yourself and be sure this is what you want. Okay? And be absolutely sure. And I'm only telling you this because 25 years is a long time to be with somebody. And you're pretty much bonded. You got 3 children. You met him when you was 26. You're now, you're 46. So actually you can start, you got plenty of time to start your life over again. I don't know how old your kids are, but for him to say nobody's going to take you with 3 kids, you making the money you making, you really don't need anybody to take you. If I were you, I wouldn't even try a committed relationship. I really wouldn't. You need to take some time about that because you don't want your kids to be affected with men coming in and out or whatever like that. You really don't want that. So sit with yourself. Go into meditation and let the spirit guide you. All right? But my advice to you, if you decide you're going to divorce him, leave him, don't look back. Okay? Never look back. All right. Now let's look at, we got another little short letter here. And this one is about a supportive friend. So let's see what she says. I had a great friend who started seeing this man. I was happy for her until I met him. She was infatuated with him completely. She is a pretty lady, and I am very concerned. She asked if I would like to go to dinner with her and meet her new love. I said yes. That would be nice. I got there. He was very elderly, and she is very nice looking. We started to eat, and he took out his false teeth and put them on the side of the plate. I would have been done. I would have been done. I was horrified, to say the least. The conversation then progressed to him telling me he was a helicopter pilot who transported men to the offshore oil rigs. She just gazed at him in admiration. I was in total shock. She had fell hook, line, and sinker for this man. Then he went on to say he was picking her up in his helicopter the following week for her birthday and for her to get all dressed up. As a friend and seeing her so happy, I couldn't say anything. The day of her birthday, she had bought a new dress, earrings, shoes, etc. And she went out to meet him in his helicopter, only for him not to show up. What kind of man is this? What kind of man? He probably fell asleep and forgot about it. I could not hold back my words any longer and told her he is a dirty old con man and to get rid of him. She blocked me and never spoke to me again. I then found out he had a wife of 30 years dying of cancer in a hospice. I lost a friend to this foul, toothless, old pervert. Do you have any advice, Miss Faye? Well, you know what? Your friend, it's her choice. You can't change that. You can get yourself a chuckle. Every time you think about it, you can laugh about it. But one day, when your friend comes to her senses, she may come back to you. Now, let me tell you something about that. My sister is a Sagittarian. And a Sagittarian, I don't know if if you are a Sagittarian or not, but I'm just going to tell you this little story. My sister is very analytical and direct, and she will say things without thinking what effect it's going to have on the other person. She just tells it the way that she sees it. Okay? Sometimes we can do that, and it really can affect the other person in a harmful way. But they don't say anything. They just don't want to be bothered with you anymore. And see, my sister, I often tell her, the way that you tell people makes a difference. So, kind of soften the blow, help them to understand what you're really trying to say before they close the door, and then they can't listen or won't listen to anything else that you have to say. You see, it could have been something like that while your friend kind of closed the door on you. Your reaction and how you handled the situation, because she may have felt like you thought that she was stupid to be with this man or something, It made her feel bad about herself. Whatever happened, whatever you said, whatever you did. And so she didn't want to be around you anymore. You made her feel bad about her choices. Okay? So, with time, she may come back to you, and she realizes that, he was no good for her or whatever like that. But as far as you are concerned, if you have reached out and apologized to her, that's really all you can do. And if you haven't done that, maybe you should do that. Because maybe you said something or did something that really offended her. Like I said, I think that's what happened. It made her feel bad about herself. And so she didn't want to be with you anymore. Okay? Just apologize for it. Whatever it was, And then if she accepts it, then you'll be friends again. And if she doesn't, maybe with time she will accept it, okay? And if you can't talk to her, write a letter. Letters, a lot of times we've gotten away from letters. People want to just send a text. But if you sit down and you just write a heartfelt letter to your friend, it'll mean so much. And when to explain yourself and tell her how sorry you were, of the comments that you made about her beloved, her beloved. But please don't mention that you done found out that he was married anyway and he was perfect. Don't do that. Don't go that route. You've already done that. Just write the letter about her, about the way that you care about her. And I think, that will help your friendship. I hope that the message today really helps someone. And the topic was really know when to leave him and never look back. And many times you know when it's time to leave because your intuition has been shouting to you, leave this, leave this fool. Why are you still here? Why are you still dealing with this? But you stay out of fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear to have to go out there and do it by yourself. Not realizing that's where your power is. And that's where your happiness is, when you know that you can do for yourself. I thank you so much for supporting this channel. I thank you for your comments and your letters. And those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And also those of you who are looking for today's affirmation and some movement, also the link is in the description. I want to extend a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best, and I really hope to see you next time.